You're listening to The Raw Reaction on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Raw Reaction coming at ya Monday night. All is good in the world when the Raw Reaction boys are on the air. And tonight, you have one of the best combos we could possibly put together in the history of the Angry Marks Network. I'm talking about myself, Angry Tensai, and the legendary Raw Reaction host on his rightful seat, grabbing his rightful crown. I'm talking about the king of Raw Reaction, Killa Kev. Welcome, Killa Kev.
Thank you, Angry Tensai. It is glad that I am glad, that you are glad that I am glad, that we're all glad that I am back on the air.
I'm glad that you're glad and that they're glad and we're glad that you're back, because it's good to have you back, brother.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You know, buddy, Raw Reaction, we had Raw tonight. We're coming off Saturday night's MSG special, which featured Brock Lesnar versus The Big Show, which we kind of got a mini rehash of tonight. You know, how did you feel about that show as a whole coming into tonight?
I didn't get a chance to see it this weekend. I was working. I have not seen Jack. I don't even know the results.
Well, the only thing that's really, there was no title changes or anything really substantial that happened. I guess, you know, do you care to know two of the results?
Go ahead. You can tell me results.
The two big results of this, I mean, there's only two really big matches in my opinion. One was an Intercontinental title match between Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho. And if you watched Raw tonight, you probably caught that Owens had a successful defense against Chris Jericho. And of course, it was a great match. And then Brock Lesnar basically did what you thought he would do. He took a minute of offense from Big Show, and it was Big Show basically gave him all he had. And of course, it wasn't enough to put down Brock Lesnar with 2 choke slams, no less. But more of the same. I mean, you could have edited out that first minute, and you have Brock Lesnar versus Kofi Kingston from Beast of the East. So Big Show, you know, did what we thought he was going to do, and this is just a match to build up the Undertaker storyline. And not much different tonight than Big Show cornering Brock Lesnar after Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. I mean, let me just tell you, if this guy has any voice left tonight, I'd be shocked. He basically went all in for Lesnar tonight to help sell the pay-per-view. And Big Show came out and said, you know what, I wanna offer my hand tonight for a good match and that at MSG, and Brock Lesnar wasn't having it. He just talked about you know, he gave him all he could handle, and Brock didn't want to give him any respect. And Show said, I can't wait till the Undertaker beats you again. And Lesnar just went ape shit. And if you didn't see Beast of the East, that pretty much sums up, the MSG special, that pretty much sums it up. You know, I mean, I'll tell you one thing though. One thing that never gets old, Kevin, is watching how odd it looks to watch Brock Lesnar with Big Show on his shoulders.
Why does it look so odd?
It's just an enormous man. It just looks like an elephant on top of Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar does it fairly with ease.
Well, Brock Lesnar is not a slight fellow.
Not at all.
I can believe it.
How did you feel about Paul Heyman's promo? Now, I want you to know I did do something tonight. I was sitting on the couch with my wife, and I was in between commercials. I was rewinding back with the DVR, and I said I want to put the TV somewhat low, but I want it to be like coherent enough where you can hear sound, but not really make out the sound. And her comment was, Why is that man screaming like that? Why is he so upset? It's not like they're confronting anyone. Why was he yelling like that?
Because that's just him.
He was just specifically very loud tonight.
I don't know. I didn't notice him particularly loud, but I just thought it was him.
Let me ask you a question. So we know Brock Lesnar's physical interactions come at a premium. Don't you feel like two Big Show beatdowns, one being in a match fashion, is a waste of this contract?
Yeah, a little bit, especially if you think back. It wasn't this past WrestleMania, or not this past before WrestleMania, but I think it was the year before. Remember when Big Show had to go through that qualifier to get his match against Brock Lesnar, and he just, who did he face in that? I don't even remember.
Roman Reigns?
It might have been Roman Reigns, and Big Show just came out and just plastered him right before the match, you know, just, and basically threw the whole thing just to assert his domination and say, you know what? It's bullshit that I even have to qualify for this match against Big Show. I'm the fucking Big Show. Now what do you got? Nothing. It's
Nothing.
ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know why they keep doing this. I don't understand. I mean, I understand the man's got to make a paycheck, but man, I tell you what, if he had just walked out of this company, and if he had just showed up in Charlotte, North Carolina, Sunday night, you would be looking at the next Triple Crown champion, the Big Show. He would have laid waste to one Mr. Matthew J. Hardy, and he would be your TNA World Heavyweight Champion with no doubt.
And he's a viable champion in that federation.
Yes, he would be an absolute fucking monster.
That federation's a disgrace, and if that's your pay-per-view, and Drew McIntyre is in the main event, my God, it's time to close doors. I mean, they're terrible.
I didn't get to see it. I've heard people praise it, and I've heard people complain about it. You know, I'll have to see it for myself, I think. I know when Mr. Seth Draken from the Impact Implosion has already declared he is not watching this event at all, and other than just reviewing who won and lost, he's not gonna watch it, he's not gonna review it, he's so pissed off by it, so.
Well, did you hear about and not to get off topic, but did you hear about the outrage over the backstage VIP package?
I did, and I don't know if I'd be outraged, but I can't help agreeing with the wrestlers. Who does that?
I love it. I love that for $250, that's all the upgrade cost per person. I love that they were back at craft services before, like 2 hours before they had their matches start, eating with the wrestlers. These nerds literally taking food from the wrestlers saying, "Hey, Mr. McIntyre, can you sign this?" Oh my God, how awesome is that? That's supposed to be their WrestleMania. They're trying to get in the zone for what could be their last Bound for Glory ever. And then there's Nerd Jones and his fat kid saying, Hey, Mr. Eric Young, can you sign this for us?" Oh my God, I would have loved to have seen it. I would have. And there was the fantasy booker session too. That was part of it. Well, you know what I would do is I would have the Great Muta come back and mentor the Tigre Uno, because that people would really like that. Oh man, I would love it.
I mean, really, if they wanted to do something like that, how about a fan breakfast or a fan lunch with wrestlers? And I don't mind making wrestlers mandatory have to show up for that, but come on, 2 hours before a pay-per-view, we got fans mixing with wrestlers while wrestlers are trying to get, that's just bullshit. That is just bullshit.
They must really need the money. And you did get a backstage tour with Dixie Carter as well.
You know, really, if TNA's that hard up for money, I wish Dixie Carter would take my advice, move the promotion to the UK. That's where your fan base is. That's where they sell out arenas. You know how many people showed up for this event?
How many?
280.
Come on.
They sold 280 tickets to Bound for Glory.
Bound for Glory.
Now, I will say, You're in the middle of a fucking hurricane, so I'm not expecting too many people to show up to begin with, but come on.
How many people were there?
I'm sure they papered that way more, but 280 paid tickets. I mean, shit, the baseball summer series sold more fucking tickets.
They had 200 VIPs. Do you know what you got? So this is like true marks only for TNA. Here's what you get for $250. Tour the Bound for Glory Arena with TNA President Dixie Carter. Each individual has a fantasy booking and creative session with a TNA writer and agent. Oh my God, would I pay to see some of those. Participate in a Q&A forum with a star of Impact Wrestling. Enjoy lunch with the entire TNA roster and crew. Walk down the Bound for Glory ramp and the six-sided ring. Have your photo taken with the TNA World Title. Sit side by side with TNA announcer Josh Matthews. Get your star promo shot by TNA Wrestling's photographer. Receive a TNA main event credential and a Bound for Glory poster. Isn't that a bit much? I mean, jeez, man. I mean, basically, come on. They might as well have the people wrestle on the card. Don't you think?
If they could get him to do it for free, yeah.
So you're telling me, and I don't mean to harp on this, but do you think how many people do you think when we see the video were in the arena?
500.
And that's WrestleMania.
That's their WrestleMania, yeah.
And you're gonna tell me they're gonna be in business come 1/1/16. No way.
Not on television in the United States.
It's over.
And not,
How can they afford to pay people?
I don't see how.
Anyway, bottom line, logical booking. Back to business. Big Show, it doesn't make sense. Honestly, this is where they should have used Kane. Wouldn't it have made more sense to fed Kane to Lesnar, consistent with the booking of the brother of Undertaker? I mean, it's pretty logical given the push you're giving Kane right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't get it. But, Brock is obviously hooking it up with the Undertaker. I think this is academic. I think Brock Lesnar goes over the Undertaker and easily in Hell in the Cell. What do you think?
Absolutely. That's what needs to happen.
That is what needs to happen, and that'll be just like Sting. Let me see. Let's see what else happened tonight. The Divas Revolution took it to the next level tonight. I want to talk about that a little bit. Paige, her losing streak continues. She had a very, what I would say, competitive match versus Natalya. I really enjoyed the match. That was a technical match. Natty wins very clean with a sharpshooter. I thought it was one of the better matches I've seen out of both girls in quite some time. Very entertaining. It's telling a good story considering they have a little backstory now. Natalya looks good out there. What do you think?
Yeah. I'm glad she's back.
Yeah. I mean, she brought the goods tonight. And we know she's sexy thick, right?
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Her boobs are huge. I have a question about Natalya. Paige. Is it just me, or are you starting to find the "this is my house" temper tantrum to be very annoying? I don't like it. I think she needs to stop saying it.
What, between, I don't know if I would rather have that or Brie mode screamed all day.
I think they're both stupid. First off, "this is my house" is dumb because it's not, because you weren't there before all the divas in the roster. And it just doesn't make sense. It's not logical, especially when she's not the champion.
And she's not kicking anybody's ass.
No, and Brie mode is admittedly Brie Bella, which she calls herself when she gets ridiculously drunk and is incoherent. That's Brie mode. Did you know that?
I believe that.
That she's explained it. And they just kind of ran with it on WWE TV, but really, it's like, I'm a drunken mess. Anyway, that leads to the other Divas match tonight, which had a little bit of a build-up to it. I like this heel-on-heel faction, the Bella Twins and Alicia Fox versus Team Bad, Sasha Banks, Tamina, and Naomi. And hey man, more of the same from Sasha Banks. She looked like a superstar out there tonight. You know, I don't know. I think the Bellas did a good job of selling the match. They looked pretty pissed about how over Sasha Banks was, and they made a comment before the match. Everywhere we go, we hear Sasha's name, but we never hear the fans want anything from the two of you, trying to build dissension within their team. But my God, when Sasha Banks got a hold of Alicia Fox and hits her with a bank statement, I mean, man, I thought she was gonna rip her freaking head off. She torqued back so hard, it looked awesome.
Blew the roof off.
Yeah, man, I like Sasha Banks, dude. She should be the champ, man, and just never take the belt off her. She's the best. She's really good.
She's good. She's good.
She's just cool, man. She's got a lot of attitude. It's too bad she's not a dude, man, because she wrestles like a dude, like one of the top dudes. She could be the best female wrestler in the world. How about that?
What about Charlotte?
Charlotte's great. They're both great. We're lucky to have them both at the same time. You know?
You know what this really needs?
What?
Mickie James back.
You know what? This would be a good time to have her back. She always needed some, right? I always thought like Victoria and Mickie James were such a good pairing. You know, you throw in like a Trish Stratus with Victoria and Mickie James and the two girls now. I mean, it's probably like the best women's division ever. I mean, I know Trish Stratus is obviously not available, but Victoria and Mickie James certainly are.
Yeah, this is true. Although I don't know if Victoria's actually retired or not. I think she did. But Mickie James is still out there busting ass. She's
great. Mickie James is awesome, man. I mean, everybody knows that. You know, the thing with Victoria is, I think she has a chain of very successful pizza restaurants. I mean, like legit ones. Like they do the wood fire pizzas
not anymore. That's done.
She stopped doing that?
Yeah, she stopped doing that because she co-owned that with her soon-to-be ex-husband, and they're now in the middle of a divorce. So
wasn't she married for like a long time?
For a very long time.
Oh, man,
here's a suggestion, if anybody. If you marry a hot-ass and very wealthy and very well-known female professional wrestler, do not stick your dick in your waitress. That's all I gotta say.
He did that?
He did that.
He did that.
He did that. And his own waitress. And then when she told her to fire him, he said he did, but she found out later that he didn't.
So he could have got away with it too?
He almost could have got away with it, but he kept doing it. And that was it. She's done.
Who has a better ass than Victoria?
No
one.
Stacy Keibler.
No way. Too skinny.
Too skinny?
You know me, man. I like them with a little something on them. Not a lot. A little something. I like Victoria. She's hot. Anyway. Sorry about that. But, if you're noticing one thing about me, I used to rag on the Divas, but I tend to cover them very quickly in our show because they're like what I'm most interested in now. The Divas Revolution has caught my interest. You gotta admit, I do cover it seriously now without making fun of the Divas.
Well, we got serious divas that you could actually brag about now.
Well, I had a problem, sitting here covering this shit for years, and I got to talk about the Bellas versus Layla, man. I mean, it's a joke, man. I mean, you show me real athletes like Charlotte, Tamina, and Sasha Banks and Natalya. I'll take them seriously, man. But when you were throwing shit on TV like Caitlyn and little AJ Lee, I mean, I'm sorry. I like AJ and all, but I mean, she can't really beat anyone in real life. She's tiny, So now you got some good people, man. And even Paige, I mean, she's annoying, but she's a hell of a worker. So good for the WWE, man. It's cool. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I'm happy for the Divas. They shouldn't call them Divas either, though. I mean, come on, man. They're like real wrestlers. Call them wrestlers.
I think that's come to an end. I think it's time to fix that.
You think they will?
I don't think they will, but they need to.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Between Becky Lynch, Bayley, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and Paige, none of them are messing around with wrestlers, right?
I don't know. I don't keep up with that.
That's what they shouldn't. They should stay away from that. Because that's what makes them a joke. Like, if they can stay away from that, I think it'll be great.
Just focus on wrestling.
Did you hear Eva Marie hurt Carmella?
Huh?
Did you hear Eva Marie hurt Carmella down in NXT?
Yeah, I did. Of course, I haven't seen it, so I can't verify it. I can only go what I hear off of the internet. So, I mean, it's unfortunate that she got hurt. I don't know if Eva Marie's responsible for that, though. I mean, it's so easy to place blame on people.
You've heard Eva Marie's a sloppy worker, and if you watch the Tough Enough show, you got Sarah Lee coming up, who's another sloppy worker. Maybe Sarah Lee could take on Eva Marie in a liability on a pole match.
Aw, man, you ain't gotta do that, do you?
A Judy Bagwell on a pole match. Anyway, that's our divas for today. You know what match I thought was really good? It wasn't long, but I thought it was super entertaining. Kevin Owens versus Sin Cara. What'd you think of that match?
That was a tough match. I liked it.
Yeah, it was different. It was contrasting. Kevin Owens made Sin Cara look awesome. He let him get his shit across, which was good. And you forget how good Hunico was, because he was not the Sin Cara we watched that effed everything up, that was terrible. And it makes you wonder if Hunico would have started as the real Sin Cara and the only Sin Cara, what would have happened with that character? Great for him, he's in a good tag team at Kalisto, but this just shows you the guy can go and can put on a hell of a match. I was super impressed.
Well, I'll be honest though. I don't think if Kalisto had been Sin Cara, I don't think Sin Cara character itself would have gotten off to a hot tip. And I think it just kind of would have been what it is now. But I mean, cause Hunico's a great he's a great wrestler, but he's not an over the top personality. I mean, really, he's a worker.
Yeah,
he's not an entertainer, he's a worker. So, I mean, even if you'd put the Sin Cara character on him from the start, I don't think it would have been the same as with Mystico being Sin Cara.
Yeah, but I think Sin Cara has a stigma to it when Hunico doesn't deserve that.
Right.
Because what Mystico did.
Right.
And I was very, can I just tell you, I was really proud of Hunico, as a wrestling fan. I was watching him today and I was like, that must feel good to be on Raw and do what he did tonight. And hats off to Kevin Owens for not just running with whatever the agent gave him and just dominating, Yeah. Owens is awesome, man. Owens is awesome, man. He's just awesome. Him and Jericho put on a great show at MSG.
Now, did Jericho work as the babyface again, or did he kind of try to do this heel character again?
Oh, Jericho was face. The crowd loved him.
Nah.
The crowd loved him.
This makes even less sense what they did with them at the pay-per-view.
It is true. Yeah, he was working mega babyface, and Kevin Owens cheated to win. I think he had a handful of tights or something.
I don't know.
But Owens, him and Ryback, like I said last couple weeks, and at the pay-per-view, I like these two guys paired up. I think they've been. I can't think of anything Owens has been paired up with I haven't liked. So good for him. This is cool, man. He's gonna give a rematch to Ryback, and hell yeah, I want to see a rematch.
Yeah, there you go.
But very cool match. Definitely gonna be entertaining. Let's see, what else did we have tonight? We had I don't want to talk about the challenge, the John Cena challenge yet. Let's see, I don't think we had a ton of matches tonight. Oh yeah, we had a really quick one. And I want to make one comment on this. We had Neville versus Sheamus.
Ugh.
Neville got in about 30 seconds of moves, and Sheamus distracted the referee, and then Wade Barrett, who happened to be at ringside, stood up on the apron, near the apron, and Neville turned around for a split second to get Brogue kicked, and he basically got squashed.
Yeah.
However, I noticed a acknowledgement between Barrett and Sheamus. I think something's going on there.
I don't know if anything's really going on there other than just, a couple bros watching out for each other.
But they keep doing that.
Well, but Wade Barrett's got to do something since, the Cosmic Kings are no more.
Yeah, I think Sheamus, we've heard, we've talked about it here on the show. We've talked about that United Kingdom faction that I think it was WWE 13 toyed with. Could this be the time for it? Something like that?
Something like that.
I think it would be entertaining. And you could have Barrett and Sheamus play faces when they're in the UK, which I think would be awesome. The crowd would love it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like they're both targeting Neville. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It was just interesting. Maybe I'm reading into it, but it is what it is. So one of the big stories tonight was Kane. Kane was told that if he does not win the world title at the pay-per-view by Stephanie McMahon, he will not be director of operations anymore. So should we assume Kane's out?
I think Kane finds a way back in.
Even if he loses?
Even if he loses.
Well, they're still playing the dual Kane role tonight, and there was a match booked between Kane and Seth Rollins versus the Dudley Boys. Originally, it was supposed to be Big Show and Seth Rollins versus the Dudleys, but Brock Lesnar already took care of him earlier in the night. So Kane was the suitable replacement. Kane was not, like I said, Demon Kane. It was Corporate Kane, who came out with a full ankle brace and suit, and he basically stood up on a corner and didn't do anything. And finally, Rollins decides to handcuff Kane to the turnbuckle, and the Dudleys just have their way with Rollins for the most of this match. Finally, Rollins gets collided into Kane. Kane falls and is helped back to the back.
Rollins tries to handcuff him to the post first, and then he breaks free, and then gets helped to the back, much to the chagrin of Mr. Seth Rollins.
Well, he did handcuff him. He actually got him handcuffed.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand what Rollins was attempting to do there.
He was trying to stop Kane from being able to go to Corporate Kane from being able to go to the back and become Demon Kane.
Oh, I didn't think of that. Did he say that? Or he just did that?
He just kind of did that and basically told Kane, stay right there, don't go anywhere.
That's brilliant. So he decided that I'm going to neutralize Corporate Kane for no other reason.
Well, he wasn't so much trying to neutralize Corporate Kane as he was trying to neutralize Demon Kane.
No, but that's brilliant, because he was trying to prove the point that there's only one Kane.
Right.
Now, wouldn't it have been something if Corporate Kane was handcuffed, didn't break free, and Demon Kane came down?
That would be interesting.
AKA Festus.
Isn't he still signed with TNA?
I don't know, but he was Fake Kane. Do you remember Fake Kane?
Yes, I do. I remember.
The one thing I hate about Fake Kane is Fake Kane holds a pay-per-view clean win over regular Kane. Do you know that?
I did not know that. I probably did know that, but I don't remember.
They wrestled at 2 pay-per-views. Okay. Fake Kane defeated Kane straight up at the first pay-per-view. One with a reverse tombstone, which we knew was going to be the way he would win. And then at the second meeting, if you ever WWE Network this match, Kane beats Fake Kane so bad, no human being was ever beaten this bad. And he got the garbage treatment that Buff Bagwell got from Kurt Angle and Stone Cold Steve Austin. They threw him out into the trash where they left Buff Bagwell. Imposter Kane got beaten within an inch of his life for real. Well, I digress. So Kane was knocked out. Big surprise. The Dudleys were having their way with Seth Rollins. Finally, the Dudleys decide we're not even going to try and win this match. We're going to go get a table. And we're going to put Seth Rollins through it. Here's something I don't like. Seth Rollins does a baseball slide while they're trying to bring in the table. Seth Rollins gets disqualified for kicking the table that they're bringing into the ring into their face. How does that work?
Oh, that's just bullshit.
That was total bullshit. The Dudleys should be DQ'd the second that table was brought up to the apron.
But it didn't come into the ring.
But so you're telling me that I could just go get a chair from under the ring, bring it in, run around with it, and if the guy hits that chair into me, they're disqualified?
Well, they shouldn't be allowed to bring it. Really, I think if you bring the object into the ring, that should be an automatic disqualification. But they didn't bring it in the ring; it was on the outside, right?
Yeah, so Rollins got DQ'd.
Rollins shouldn't have gotten DQ'd either. That's just simple revenge. That's just sweet justice. That's karma in action. You try to bring in a foreign object and it gets used against you. Well, tough shit. Be lucky you didn't get disqualified for picking it up to begin with.
Yep. I'll tell you though, it goes to show you Rollins' character is developing. He's not a wuss. He stayed in fight. He stood in fight.
And he beat 2 legends. He beat 2 certified Hall of Famers. He beat 2 9-time world tag team champions simultaneously.
Rollins is everything he says he is. He's the man.
It is what is advertised on the marquee.
One thing they did after this match that I loved, this was Attitude Era throwback, right? So the Dudleys and Kane have their own little history. Demon Kane comes out to beat the crap out of Rollins. Not so fast. The Dudleys take out Demon Kane with a 3-day. Love it.
Well, that's because because Demon Kane came out and chokeslammed the both of them on SmackDown last week.
No, I did not know that, but I
still,
mean,
even if that didn't happen, still sweet move.
It's a cool move because it's like unexpected because you're like, oh, he's gonna beat it. It just shows you that like, you know, like we're not always gonna use WWE logic. Like, oh, the match is over now. The other guys just roll out of harm. Like you don't see them; they're just gone.
Or what you thought was gonna happen was that the legends were gonna, you know, all be buddy together against Seth Rollins. No, not quite the case this week.
The Dudleys, we'll talk a little bit more about it. They didn't really have a good night. I mean, the Kane moment was pretty cool, but like you said, I mean, I feel like Rollins showed him up totally. Good observation by you. I completely agree with you there, man.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. They did not have a very good night.
You know what match I saved this one. The one match that I loved tonight, and you know, it's kind of been meandering around, but I think when you have guys match up enough and they can keep your interest, the matches start becoming awesome because the guys get so used to each other. And I would say that Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, Dean Ambrose versus Wyatt family proved that tonight. I thought it was a fantastic 6-man match. I thought everyone played a key role and everyone played their role very, very, very well. And I loved the ending sequence of the match. I thought the faces completely kicked ass, and they looked awesome, and they should have looked awesome. Strowman finally got his ass kicked on the outside. Strowman was treated the way he should be treated, like a bitch, because he is one. He got hit with a Superman punch, and Dean Ambrose basically just jumped on his back and knocked him over a barricade. He actually first jumped off the ring apron, took down Strowman, and then the announcers tried to pretend that he only got knocked to one knee. No, he got knocked down. He completely went down because he's a goofball and can't keep his feet. And then Ambrose jumped on his back and flipped him over and tackled him over the wall. It was very cool. I very much enjoyed Strowman being treated like a WCW Saturday Night jobber, because that's what he is. He's a piece of shit. Remember that. Luke Harper looked just completely badass. He super kicked Roman Reigns in the face, and it looked like Harper was going to pin Reigns, but not so fast. Randy Orton broke the pin. Reigns powerbombed him out of his shoes. And then Randy Orton tried to RKO him, missed. Bray Wyatt jumps in. He tries to hit the Sister Abigail. That gets blocked. Tries to hit an RKO. That gets blocked. Wyatt jumps out of the ring, realizing he saved himself. And they leave Harper for the Wolves. And my God, did he get mauled. RKO and spear. It was brutal. Harper got destroyed. I can't believe Wyatt left him like that. What'd you think?
Wyatt will sacrifice his pawns to, for the end game.
But doesn't he usually stand and fight? I was surprised by that. I just was surprised. And I thought Strowman looked like a bitch. You build him up and that was it. He looked like a total jobber in that match. You don't think so?
No, I wouldn't say total jobber.
He is a jobber. He is a jobber.
But he did a good job tonight.
So if WWE, if I, let me just ask you a question. So Bray Wyatt, by the way, is taking on Roman Reigns, Hell in the Cell, once and for all. Awesome. Now they've built these guys up. They started them with a hot shot. Now you have this thing built up. You excited about the match?
Nah, not quite.
Really? Surprised by that. I am. I'm like, who's gonna win? Like, that's my big question. I guess it has to be Roman Reigns.
Does it?
I think so. But maybe not.
We'll find out, won't we?
Can I tell you, Bray Wyatt as a heel and number one contender versus Seth Rollins, man, would that be interesting, huh?
I think Seth Rollins makes short work of him.
You do?
I think so.
Well, it depends on what their plans are for Roman Reigns. If they're saving Roman Reigns for WrestleMania, to your point, he won't win here because you have enough time between now and WrestleMania to keep Roman Reigns away from the title. If Roman Reigns beats Bray Wyatt, whoever wins this match is going to be the number one contender. And then they essentially in November, December have to have a title shot. And then there's no way who's ever in that match is going to get another shot at WrestleMania. Period. Unless they're the champion. There's no way Roman Reigns is walking into WrestleMania with the title.
Right. I would agree with that.
The story's there. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns got robbed. Brock Lesnar got robbed. Who knows? It might even be a triple threat between the three of those guys. Who knows?
Yeah.
The story's there, man. I mean, that would make WrestleMania good. You kind of like make WrestleMania a scenario where, like, if you didn't watch anything from WrestleMania to the next WrestleMania, it makes sense. And that's the thing I liked about the Daniel Bryan storyline from the previous year. Mm-hmm. I mean, that thing was going on all year. It was like a year of booking, and that I like a year of booking. So it all makes sense if it plays out that way. But we'll see. You might be right, buddy. You might be right. I mean, I didn't think about that. But here was my question I was going to ask you before I digressed. Braun Strowman, this piece of crap that they're pushing. If I took $250 and I got my what's the next pay-per-view? My Hell in the Cell VIP package for $250, and I got my fantasy booking session, and WWE said, okay, of the 200 people, one of your fantasy booking sessions at random will be picked, and it happens to be mine, and I say, okay, WWE writers, back out of this one, no DQ, Hell in the Cell, Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar. What do they do with that match? They have to show it on Raw.
Possibly.
What would happen?
I'm not even going to try to predict on that one.
Do you think they would let Braun Strowman be Brock Lesnar? No fucking way.
No, I'm just bullshitting.
Okay, good. I was like, dude, come on. I really hate Strowman, do I? I mean, I may hate him more than anybody you've ever seen me watch on TV.
Quite possibly. You might have to change your name to Angry Strowman.
No, I am Angry Tensai. Tensai sucked. In fact, Tensai I probably hated the most, but he's not as bad as this. Not even close.
There you go. You need to be Angry Braun.
Angry Braun. How about this one? So, I used to hate this guy, but I don't anymore. And I apologize. I take back everything I've ever said about him. I am a wide-eyed Rusev fan. Once again, I love Rusev tonight. I thought he was awesome. I love Ruru. I love him being called Ruru. That is my favorite. Summer Rae.
The fuck was this shit? Come on.
It was awesome.
This is shit that TNA bookers would look at and be like, I don't think this is going to work for us.
What was wrong with it? It makes sense.
No. It was just horrible.
What did you have a problem with?
I specifically had a problem with Summer Rae taking a knee and asking Rusev to marry. No.
Don't call him that.
No. I am not calling him that name.
Why?
Just bring this shit to an end.
Don't you think he looks awesome? Like, with the short hair and the jacket. I think he looks awesome now. I really think he's cool, man.
This whole thing has just gone completely sideways. I mean, seriously, we need to send New Day out here to just kill this.
Okay, so Summer Rae proposes to him.
No.
That's not Rusev's fault. Rusev's just in the ring. I thought what Rusev did back was brilliant and sums up what a great heel would do. He's taking advantage of something. You don't think he is?
I just don't like it. I don't like it. I don't care for it. I'm not interested in it anymore. I mean, WWE had their opportunity. They completely blew it. They just need to scrap this. But they keep dragging it on, and it keeps getting worse every week. This whole angle may end up as Wrestle Crap of the Year.
Well, I have a bad feeling that Ruru is going to get the U.S. title back, and I really hope they don't throw him back into that.
Well, you never really know. I mean, the word is out there. John Cena's getting ready to take some time off for the rest of the year.
Then he should do something else, though. Like, let Rusev win the Intercontinental title. Like, I don't know. See, Kevin Owens should have took the U.S. title off Cena. It did not make sense. Don't you think? Like, permanently. Like, kept it.
I don't know.
Like, why Rollins?
Because it put over Rollins as a badass.
Rollins a badass anyway. He didn't need the U.S. title.
It was just more for the fodder. And it didn't last very long, so it was okay.
Instead, we have our WWE champion jobbing at a pay-per-view and on a Raw to John Cena. Like, I hate that. It just doesn't make sense to me. It just makes it look like John Cena on any night, if he decides to ask for a title shot, to take the belt. On any night. It's just a matter of if he's up to it that night.
Yeah.
You know? Well, that's John Cena. Or excuse me, Ruru. John Cena has his open...
Stop that!
Sorry, I'm sorry. Now, so far, I think you can tell I really, 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 really like the show. I thought, at this point, Raw was an A- to an A. That's how much I enjoyed the show. Probably an A- because I thought the Brock Lesnar segment was a little redundant. But I did like all the subtleties in booking tonight. So I would say at this point it was an A-. Now, I'm not saying that it took a turn, like, for the worst, horribly. But I guess I don't understand where we went from here, okay? Couple reasons. We have the John Cena US Open Challenge. Oh, by the way, when they did the Susan Komen cancer thing in the ring with all the cancer survivors and, like, people,
mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's like he's short or something, but okay, so Cena looked like a wrestler out there with those guys. Roman Reigns looked like a transvestite in like a purple or pink shirt. Like,
oh, come on now.
He looked really goofy out there, didn't he?
No.
You don't think he looked like a goofball?
No.
I thought he looked like an absolute goofball.
I thought he looked alright. As a matter of fact, I think Cena's trying to groom him to take that role over.
You think?
I think so. I think that's why he was out there tonight. Because he went out there and he shook each and every one of their hands.
Who, Cena or Reigns?
Reigns.
Dude, I don't care what people say. I think Cena's like a really, really good guy.
Oh, he is. He absolutely is.
Like, he just like, he lives his life. He does what he's interested in. And everybody hates on him. And it's like, it took me 10 years to appreciate this guy. And I'm like, he's forced down my throat. He's forced down my throat. He's forced down my throat. But I truly now view him as one of the all-time greats. Like, I really do. I really think he is, like, I'll give you an example. Like, Triple H. I do like Triple H. And you know, I'm okay with him. I thought him and Sting was cool. And, you know, I view Triple H as an icon. But I don't view him as an all-time great. Even though he had the run that he had. I mean, he's great. But he's not an all-time great. He's always going to be Shawn Michaels' lackey to me. Always, no matter what.
Okay.
Whereas John Cena truly is, like, in my mind, on that handful of 8 guys.
Okay.
Do you or no?
I'll agree.
I'm surprised. I mean, it's just like, I don't know if it's, like, the great things that he does makes me appreciate him as an adult. Like, just understanding, like, what he does with his free time and stuff. But it's not that. It's just this U.S. Open Challenge. Not this one. But, like, his previous run. Oh, I mean, it just shows you how great he is and was. I mean, And his matches with The Rock are really what sold me. I thought those guys, and I know the second one specifically got crapped on, and I thought it was great. But, dude, that's like the last big match we'll probably ever see. I mean, that was like one of the biggest matches ever. You'll never see anything like that again. Ever. Ever. You'll never see anything like Cena Rock ever again.
Maybe not.
You won't. There's no two people that are so huge that we have to see it. I think there's only one match left that could do that. And that would be Stone Cold Cena. And that's not going to happen. Okay. That would be huge.
Yeah, but we're never going to see that one. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, I'm hearing Stone Cold versus Lesnar at WrestleMania. Why?
No, we're not going to do that either.
But it's stupid.
It is stupid. Because we're never going to see Stone Cold wrestle again. Don't even tease it. Don't even tease it because it's just not going to happen.
Because of his neck?
Yeah.
If you have Rock and Brock Lesnar available for WrestleMania, which it appears they do, you do not have these guys wrestle each other.
No.
You have Undertaker, you have Rock, and you have Lesnar. You put them in big matches and let the cards fall where they do, right? I mean, maybe 3 guys step up and win those matches, right? I mean, now's the time. Now's the time, right? I mean, now is the time.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So, that's that. The US Open Challenge real quick though. Very disappointed. Brock, it was Dolph Ziggler that accepted the challenge. And I'm like, shit, we're gonna do this now. Wow. And Dolph Ziggler's been on quite a roll. He beat Ruru clean a couple weeks ago. I'm thinking to myself, wow, I hear the music. Dolph Ziggler is,
he's here to show the world.
He's here to show the world. He could walk out tonight with the US title. This is gonna be awesome.
No.
Well, instead, we hear the music. And we see no one coming. So I realize he got jumped by somebody. So I'm personally thinking, wow, this is going to be somebody huge. It's going to be a big comeback. Instead, it's the New Day.
Oh, no.
Dragging out Dolph Ziggler. And they say it's going to be a big opponent and a big challenger tonight. Big E Langston.
New Day? Come on. You know, you like this match.
It's stupid. Why? You have this great Raw. You're rolling. I would have rather seen, what's his face? Kalisto take the Open Challenge. This is terrible.
Why is it terrible that Big E Langston be the challenger?
I would have rather have been Kofi Kingston and let Kofi take him to the limit.
I don't think Kofi can really take him to the limit though. Big E looks strong out there though.
He did. And he does. But I think Big E's become kind of a joke character. And now I can't get past, okay, Big E Langston looks a certain way, which is, intimidating, right? I mean, he's big, huge, rock dude. I mean, but then he does stupid shit. Like, he wears, that stupid jacket and he gyrates with his tongue out. I can't take him seriously. He's like a joke character.
I mean, he can joke around, but there's times when he can be serious, and he was all business tonight.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, listen, it wasn't terrible. It just isn't a main event. John Cena gives him the opportunity to shine, makes it look like New Day has a chance, but thanks to the trombone, John Cena wins the match.
Well, I mean, let's be really honest here. The main event for this show was what happened after the main event, and that's really is it. If we're talking wrestling wise, what's your main event? I think your main event was probably Kane and Seth Rollins against Team 3D.
Well,
I think that was seriously your hottest match of the night.
I disagree. I think the Wyatt Ambrose Reigns Orton match was. I thought that match was hot as it gets.
It was a wild match. But I'm just not on fire about the feud.
Well, I guess that was to me the best match. But I agree with you that I like the story that was told in the Kane, Rollins, Dudley match. And it goes to show you, when you don't have a decisive win, you can still book something good and it can still produce what you want it to produce. Fine with that. I'm even okay with this match being on the card, Big E Cena, but the aftermath of it is a bit shocking to me because let me lay this out for you. So they take out Cena. While they're taking out Cena, Dolph Ziggler apparently is healed and is back to...
No, he was not healed.
He was somewhat healed. He was holding his neck, and he ran out.
He was injured, and they sent him back out, and he got slaughtered again.
Well, he accidentally superkicked Cena.
Yeah.
And anyway, the New Day take out both of them. So as they're taking out Cena and Ziggler, the Dudleys come down. Then they get their asses kicked.
Yes.
And essentially, 3 New Day members, one who's technically a manager, took out 4 people, 4 of the top wrestlers in WWE.
Yep, they cleaned house.
I'm actually okay with that too. But here's what I'm not okay with. Why?
Because New Day rocks. I thought that this put over New Day as a very strong faction.
And I'm okay with that. But will they continue to be a strong faction?
I think they will be. I really think they will be. I don't think they prevail in the end, but I think they'll be a strong faction.
Well, I'm alright with it. I want to see them stay together for a long time.
Yeah, I agree.
It was an interesting... So, I did not like the choice of wrestler in this. I'm okay with the ending. I still think if I was just watching this segment, I would give this segment a B or a B minus. And for purposes of that B or B minus, I give the show as a whole a B plus. You okay with that? And what would you give the show?
I agree. I agree right with that assessment. And I think everything else on the show was probably an A to right up to about the end of the show.
Yeah, I mean, it was, and can I tell you something? You give me a B plus show every single Raw. Yeah, man. Cool.
Yeah.
This was a great show. It's a great show. No problem.
Yeah.
I was excited. I enjoyed it. Very, very much enjoyed it. And I can't remember the last time. I mean, I really did watch every single thing, and I even rewound stuff. So, you know what, man? Good show. I'm looking forward to the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I think pay-per-view will be good.
I do too. You know, that's pretty much all I got. I mean, I think we cover everything in depth. Anything you want to plug here on the network?
I don't have anything to plug tonight.
All right, cool. Well, I guess I'll ask you this before we go off the air. TNA Impact Implosion. Will they go through Bound for Glory? I
don't know if they will or not.
So, like, what do they, like, you know those guys have always intrigued me, and I'm fans of both of theirs. Do they mock, the timing of the taping and then when they were viewing the show on the regular?
No. So
to them, they act like it's real time?
Pretty much.
And are they fans of EC3 or no?
I think Mike is more than Seth is.
What does Seth not like about EC3?
Honestly, I can't even remember at this point. I mean, I don't even think EC3's been on in a little bit, so.
So, quick question for you. Like, what do you think WWE makes of the fact that TNA has pushed EC3, Derek Bateman as their guy?
I think they're probably happy. I think they're probably proud of him. I mean, they got him his real big start in the business, and look where he's gone.
You know what I kind of feel like? And don't get me wrong, I think I've seen a little bit of him, and I think he's doing a good job. But I feel like TNA took anybody that the WWE rejected, and it could have been anybody. And they said, we're going to run with this guy all the way and force him down everybody's throat. And this is going to be our claim to fame, that we made this guy, this WWE reject, the TNA guy. Could have been anybody.
Maybe. But I think this kind of speaks to the mindset that I've said about WWE, and specifically about WWE developmental. I mean, a lot of these guys that come through here, they don't end up really being anything in WWE. But just about any guy who's a nothing in WWE, you put him in any other fed, he's probably your world champion. And I think EC3 is proof of that. And I think he's been a credible champion for TNA. And I think that speaks a lot of what WWE does in the developmental center. I think that speaks a lot of the kind of wrestler that EC3 is, and props to TNA to being able to pick up on that and take this guy and make him one of their own. He definitely, I mean, he's WWE trained, 1000% WWE trained, but he is in no way a WWE reject. He is TNA.
Well said. I really like what you said there. And I think people have to remember that NXT and WWE is so loaded that this is like what happened when WCW was on top. You can't buy and have every single wrestler because sooner or later your bottom guys or your perceived bottom guys will go somewhere else and they will shine. And a good writer can make any athletes top guys if they book correctly. And that's how you build a federation.
Yeah, if only DNA was really consistent on that, you know?
Yeah, I know. It is too bad. I mean, you know, TNA tried a lot of different things, and, you know, I still remember the night, and we'll leave you guys with this. I still remember the night TNA went head to head with, WCW, or WWE, and they decided to bring back the NWO, and WWE decided to have Bret Hart see Shawn Michaels for the first time in years. And, you know, I gotta tell you, that night had a feel to it, like TNA had a chance. And it's as close as they ever got, it's as close as they ever will get. But they gave it their shot, they threw their dice on the table, and they tried. No shame in that.
Yeah, they did. They really did.
You know? They put Hogan out there, the NWO out there, and it just didn't work.
No, it didn't work. It ended up being all wrong.
And the worst part about it is, here we are at WrestleMania, and Hogan, Nash, and Hall walk out as if it never happened. You know, it's too bad. TNA, you know what though, man? I feel bad for the Dudleys in a way. They've been put back into that role they were playing 10 years ago in the WWE, and they have so much more to offer.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe we'll go there. Maybe they'll do it.
Never know.
Great show tonight, man. I love being on the air with you again tonight, man. You are the man. You are the myth. You are the legend. It was a great show tonight. Love being here. And hopefully we'll get to do it again, brother.
Hopefully soon, but next week I am looking forward to Big Vic being back.
Yes, his Oktoberfest German annual tour will end. And it should be a lot of fun. So I'm glad Big Vic will be back, and all three of us will be back, and we'll be doing our thing.
And he should be sobered up and ready to go, right?
Heck yeah, man. Well, thank you, Killer Kev.
Thank
Always
you.
a pleasure. And let's hit the music and get the hell out of here.
See ya! We'll see you next week, guys.